Hey, Gobi! You're now listening to Buddy Time. On today's episode, we are diving into some exciting conversations about the life of film actors and the ever-changing landscape of the film industry with our guest speakers, Liu Jinyu and Chen Huafeng. Ready to turbocharge your day with us? Let's begin our voyage. Hey everyone, welcome back to Buddy Time. I am Sin, and today we've got a super exciting episode for you. Honestly, this is one of the most excited episodes so far. We've never really have a lot of actors together in a podcast with us discussing about the fun stories or behind the scenes or some teas behind getting to know more about the industry itself. And personally, I am also pretty much into the film industry as well in Thailand. So I would love to also hear more about, the experiences from our new friends. So please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Jim Liu. My Chinese name is 尊敬的敬，宇宙的宇. But yeah, you can just call me Jim. And I was born and raised in Taiwan. And I went to school in the UK, so I spent some years in London. My main job is a lecturer at Zhengzhi University in Taiwan. But I also have the opportunity to do acting and sometimes commercials in the industry. And this is my first time ever doing a film work here in Thailand. So just feel like I'm blessed to have this opportunity to come, all the way from Taiwan to Thailand to a place like I never visited before. Like I never got a chance to visit Thailand before. And this is my first time ever here. And I got an opportunity to work with the local productions and also the Chinese productions. We filmed 2 months here in Thailand already. We were in Koh Chang Island. We were in Khao Yai, and now we are in Bangkok. And here now I have this honor to join your podcast. So I see it's a great opportunity to have a conversation with creative people like you two, Xing and Sony in this podcast. Just so we can, I believe through the conversation, I can learn a lot from you. And yeah, just looking forward to this session.
Thank you for joining us, Jim. And how about our other friend?
First of all, I want to say thank you guys for having us here. And I'm Max. You can call me Max Chen, like Jackie Chan's Chen, like call me Chen. My Chinese name is Pan Wen Huafeng. That means Chen or Max. And I was graduated from the Academy of Theater and Film and Television Academy in Communication University of China. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time in Beijing, almost 10 years, but born and raised up in Chengdu. I was a Sichuan people, Chengdu people. So yeah, I don't know if you know that city, but it's a very good city for visit to travel. Yeah, I'm also a director of music video, and I'm trying to practice my skills directing, and I do rap too, because I started learning this hip-hop culture since I was 6th grade from primary school. I started practicing beatbox, so I got into this culture. Then I met a lot of rappers and dancers, graffiti artists, and DJ. They're all from Chengdu, and we have the variety, and we got the diversities in Chengdu. So I can meet a lot of different people from this culture, from different culture in Chengdu. Yeah, that's the basic thing about me. And about the project, I'm in the film. We just wrapped up here. It's the first international project for me, so I quite feel the same like Jim.
It's such an honor to have both of you join us on this podcast. And I feel like you're both from such different backgrounds as well. I hear that, Jim, you said that you are a professor in a university, right? And also, Max, yourself, you graduated and took theater and film and all these things from China. I'm wondering for both of you and your experiences through acting, how did you end up wanting to act in the first place? Where did it begin?
For me, I wouldn't say it's random because I did my PhD in film studies in the UK. So I started as an academic in a school, and my first job in mainland China was in Vancouver Film School. and in 2017, the end of 2017. And since that, I got more opportunity to, meet up with the filmmakers from the industry in China. And I started to get more and more gigs, either in commercial directing or like in film and TV acting. I just kind of got better opportunity to expose myself to the industry. And since, I also had the chance to participate in multiple film festivals, film events, and commercials, movies. So I kind of just follow this flow because I see it's a good career path to go to. Like, even though I'm still not like full time, but I mean, I'm still serious in acting. And so I would say, like, for me, is I kind of started pretty late, but I think this is my first film acting this year. And I got booked to do the film acting in Thailand, spend 2 months here. It's just incredible. Like, imagine, like, if I don't do acting, I don't know when would be the good time for me to visit Thailand. I mean, I love Thailand, but I didn't have that opportunity to travel here before. And and I also see, like, because of acting, I got a chance to meet so many creative people and people from different backgrounds, people from Europe, from China, from the States, from Canada, and everyone come from different background. Everyone had different stories to share. And I just feel like I learned a lot. It's way much more than what I can learn from the university or, from books, from the research. It's different. I wouldn't say which one's better, but like, I really do feel like I enjoyed quite a lot, like working on set or working with other people in a film productions.
So for you, you've just only started into the film industry when you went into your PhD?
Yeah, when I finished already.
So before PhD, what were you doing? Was film in the picture?
Yeah, like when I was in the UK, when I was doing my PhD, I also have some side job. Like I did like stock footage, stock image, like those iStock, Shutterstock, you can buy footage or image online. It was quite popular before, like 10 years ago, 5 years ago.
Like as in you're an actor, like modeling for those footages?
Oh, no. I do like creative directing to create content for stock footage. So like we film footage and we sell many different footage or image for commercial purpose or TV news purpose. So like the clients, they can buy the footage or image online from Shutterstock, iStock, Palm 5, those platforms. But now it's possibly because of AI, so this industry kind of going down a bit. But still, like I think like 10 years ago, they was like quite popular in the film industry. Like, it helps the industry quite a lot. Like, so for example, when I was in the UK, we have the UK production. But for example, we want to film something from Hong Kong night market. But some of the production, they don't have to fly to Hong Kong to film that. They can purchase stock footage. Like we film in Hong Kong for them. And so me, like the job as a creative director, you just have to think about the themes. What is the best, like the potential best-selling footage or image that the industry may need? So you asked me like, what did I do before acting? So stock footage is one of my main thing when I was there, and I organized some film festival in London and Paris. So I've organized film festival in order to sell and distribute Chinese language movies in Europe. So through film festival, the European audience have the access to the Chinese language movies, and also learn, like by organizing film festival, like how to promote, how to marketing the Chinese language movies in Europe, especially like in UK and France. And it's just because there's a different markets, there's different language, and there's a language and cultural barrier between the audience and the Chinese movies. But for me, I mean, it's a learning, and I also, kind of managed to sell some Chinese movies there, like through Amazons, through film festival, distributed, and those are. And I also work, I work in some advertisement agency there, so promote some show like Visit Britain, something like that kind of shows. Yes, pretty much I do. And from time to time I do acting, but like when I was in UK, there was that time there was no proper acting for Asian, so it's more just commercials from time to time, like eat McDonald's burgers or like I don't know, iPhone commercial, blah blah blah. Not, but I wouldn't say that's a proper acting. But like from time to time, I got gigs. So still, I started to learn like when I was studying.
That's such a unique story to hear how you started with all the stock footages and then got into film. And I'd like to ask Max as well about your own journeys of how you started. When did you realize like you wanted to act and apply for the schools that you went to?
When I was 12 years old, I started my first performance, but not in this film industry. It's just on the stage, in the club, in some bars from Chengdu. I found that I have some talent because I got first, I got champion of this Chengdu's Got Talent. There was a show in Chengdu. It's like, almost like American Got Talent, like that. A Chinese Got Talent like that, but a small one. I got the champion. I got 4,000 RMB, but from that, so I found that, okay, I can make some money from it. Then I start working. I even became assistant of the manager of entertainment department and club when I was 15 years old to 16 years old.
Wait, is that even a legal age for work?
I try. I have to protect myself, so I everybody knows me as a 89 years old born man, and ABC, like so. From back then, I just enjoyed, and I think I got some talent. I just want to be a star because we saw a lot of movies, we saw a lot of TV series. I just want to be a star and an actor like them. I enjoy the applause from the audience, the claps, then they shout out to you. But after high school, eventually I decided I would have to get the education from the university. So I decided to go to Communication University of China. Okay, from that, I realized I start to learn the real deal about the acting and filming stuff. Being an artist is about making beauties out of life and being a human being. So that's what it's about for me. Just to make beauties, then to show people and to show us and to learn from ourselves what's the most important for a human being and make this world be better and not just educate. I won't use that word, but just influence people. That's the most important thing out of our entertaining people. Yeah. And I start my first. I think there's a web series, but it's a alphabet. So that's what I learned from my university. 2017, yeah, I got into the industry from there.
How both of you started your journey is very different. I'm wondering, how was your first gig like? Like, how did you get into your first gig, and were there any coach for you? Did you get into, the acting smoothly, or did you got criticized a lot? Like, I'm just wondering, how did you first started your first job?
If you're asking about like the first, the main speaking role in a movie production, and that was, I think I did my first lead role in 2018 as a sci-fi movie in China. And yeah, I mean, that time I just feel like it was a shock, because I never, when I was in UK, I didn't imagine a movie production. It sounds like huge. There's a feature film booked me as a male protagonist, and it's a sci-fi movie. It's kind of big budget. So that time I just feel like, oh wow, I'm gonna be the movie male protagonist in a sci-fi feature film. Well, that movie is not even released until now, but still, I don't know the reason. But anyway, so I did that 6 years ago, and that time I can't think of the reason why they choose me. Maybe partly because that's a more multicultural cast of feature film. So we do have foreign actors and also Chinese actors, and the language are bilingual language feature films. And they chose me, but before that, I never be a male protagonist in a movie. Before that, but they chose me, and I was just surprised. And that was my second year in mainland China, maybe just the end of my first year, and I was just super excited. I was feel, oh wow, if I have this market and I must be more serious in acting. So I started to attend more workshop to, because I didn't have like a proper acting training, and my accent is not good, I think, for the Chinese film industry. And I didn't learn like kind of, Max is trained. So like, for example, he is confident to perform in front of the crowd, because if you're a trained actor, it's more of the nature of the trained actor. But like for me, I didn't go to acting school. If you put me on a stage or in front of a crowd, I feel like, I'll freak it out or something. I mean, I never tried, but like I'm more used to work for camera or work on set. It's my background, my experience. But anyway, back to that question. So when I first got booked for that role, I started to think, yeah, maybe I can be more serious about it, and maybe I should put more efforts in studying acting. So I attended some master class. I attended some workshop. Also like the internet feature film, like the iQIYI feature film, and also as the male protagonist. Because I got booked for 2 leads in 1 year, so I was just, it was a bit overwhelmed. So I started to think, do more proper acting. And in terms of experience, I feel like, because as a lead in a movie, you pretty much, for example, if you film like 50 days for the entire production, the male lead pretty much work every day. Call time, you're on the first one. Finish time, you're the last one. Because all supporting actors work alongside with you. So you carry it's not much about me, but like the character carry the story, right? It's a story about that lead character. So all supporting cast, all the details, all the props, all the environment, all the set design for this character, the character story. So you pretty much are needed to be on set, like, from early morning to the late night. You work there, like, I like 14 hours, 15 hours every day. And then that was a sci-fi movie. I gonna run away from aliens. Like I kill aliens. So it's quite physical. I did also physical training for that movie. So I just realized that, being an actor is not as easy as like, the public may seem. It's like, I mean, I see myself as I exercise regularly. I have healthy lifestyle, but still like working as an actor on set, like 15 hours a day, you have to put all your focus and concentrations to the script, to the production. At the same time, you need to kind of relax yourself. Otherwise, your performance is kind of off. Like if you are so stressed about your lines, your performance, about your self-ego, you cannot deliver an authentic performance. So I learned a process, like you need to be comfortable. If you feel like, oh, I'm so stressed, when they call 3, 2, 1 action, you are so stressed, then how can you deliver an authentic performance from that character's perspective? But still, you focus because you need to memorize the lines. You need to walk to the specific spot to say your line, do your specific action. So there's a lot of concentration. But anyway, so after that 2 movies, I started to, respect actors more. And I started to think, before that, I worked more behind the camera. I was, I mean, like some filmmakers, if they never work as an actor, they might think, oh, actors are the prop I put like at a specific angle for my shot to make it pretty. But it's not true. Like, audience, when they watch it, they follow the characters to go through the storyline. So only when I started to do acting, I realized like how important and how difficult it is. Yeah, that's what I learned from my career so far.
I'm sure that you've gone through a lot of hardships in order to get those roles. But the way you're just explaining it, I love it, because you're just like, oh, I booked like these 2 main leads, and then it's like on the same year. And then, it's really, really like, it's very, very insightful to hear about this. And for you, Max, how was it that you started off in the industry in terms of like acting wise?
Movie, but it's a sci-fi action. I do a lot of action movies. It's quite similar. Learned traditional martial art when I was in high school. And so for me, I'm like, because that is, and I think I'm so blessed because I got my first opportunity in 2006 talent that I got. It's just because I'm lucky, I think. It's because in our university, there is a lot of crews and companies. They will come to 17. That's Beijing 电影学院. What's the
Beijing Film Academy.
Yeah. They will go to this academy, a central academy of acting, and our teacher just show them with the class by class. Yeah, scout it out, and they went to our academy, and which was the sci-fi action for me. Yeah, that's hard. It's hard. Even though I got the talent, but for my first leading role and do the real deal on the set, just it's you always learning. But let's focus on the major, the job you are assigned to do it. It's hard. It's like what Jim said. It's you have to make sure you got all the be in your role, and what are foundations already, and then you have to be in the comfortable way to how many years? I'm counting 7-8 years. 7 or 8 years. So it's hard. But for me, I've been doing this for around you only can make things right or figure things out after you already done it. So just we have to look back and pay attention, be cautious all the time, but be in a comfortable way. And but for me, I don't want to be regret about everything I did, especially this. I have to I always communicate with the directors a lot. I know maybe I'll sound like a douchebag. Maybe they say that this guy's coming and he's gonna fuck up my shooting script, and stuff. Because I will ask why you asked this character to do this, to go from here to there. I ask the question. Sometimes they just don't know, but this is your job to understand your character. It's very important.
So you're saying the director is just like,
no, some of them. No, some of them.
You figure that out.
They have their reason. But that's in our part. It's in our job. Sometimes they have a lot to consider about mistake. They will just ignore some details, but not on purpose, But so that's my job. That is why they hire me. So I would just do my job. I just want to do that thing right and just ask them the question. If they say no, all right, that's okay, but I have to say it. I think that's the hardest thing for me.
I think a lot of listeners might also, and me included actually, would like to know a bit more about this, like about the industry itself in China and like the acting itself in China. I'm wondering, because you did talk about how there are people who would go to your school to scout you out right away, Max. How competitive is it in China in terms of acting? And how big was your class, your graduating class? When they scout, do you all within each other fight for specific roles, or they specifically would look for you because of a particular reason?
There's so many schools, and every year for our school we have each class we have, like, from our class they will scout the people they want in, maybe to go to the musical classes and go to the 音主持 broadcasting classes, that to find the they just want to the beautiful faces. And yeah, it's very competitive, but I know. So, but we won't just fight. But if we're still in school, we won't fight. But after that, we went. Fight under the surface. They want that way. Yeah,
Not physically.
not physically, mentally. Don't drink that. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's very competitive. The payment is not that good. Even you got the leading role, but you're still new in this industry. You don't have any commercial values. So we're still working on it, but I can't survive. I'm still in this, right? I'm still doing what I want to do, what I love to do. So I'm blessed.
So something you mentioned, maybe the way I expressed is not that precise, but I feel like there is a factor of earlier years industry. That's true, but it's never easy. Like for me or for anyone, it's never easy. But I can agree with you. Like if you go for audition, they are 1,000 people have similar talent, similar look, similar background or experience like you, and you are choose for that role. Is that because you are just so much better than another 999 people? I would say maybe not. Possibly because you're lucky. But why are you lucky? I think it's kind of a chunk of this industry. Why so many people want to pursue this entertainment industry? Because there's some uncertainty of it, and everyone think, oh, maybe my dream can come true, or maybe not. But I would say, like, me as an actor with like non-trained acting background, I would say because it's so competitive and there's some uncertainty in this industry. So for me, I wouldn't say it's for everyone, but for me, I would try to find a good balance, not try too hard. I feel like in that way, me mentally, physically, I can enjoy living in a nicer quality way. And why is that? Because just like Max say, so if the casting director went to their class, I don't know, for a year, maybe there are, I don't know, 200 students, and it's just one university. And imagine how many universities in China have performing arts school. They would just want to pick up one role, and they are saying, oh, we are looking for a guy who know martial art, can rap, good looking, young.
Are you describing Max right now?
I'm not describing him now, but imagine how many other actors also have this talent like him. But maybe there are other actors that like equally good like Max, but Max is got picked. But what if Max not got picked? And what is he supposed to do? His life still goes on, right? Goes on. If you got denied next gig again and again and again, what are you gonna do? You still have your life. Carry on doing things. Carry on doing the things you are happy with. I give you an example. If there's a door locked, you cannot open it. You kick it. You're forced to open it. You just cannot open it. Why not try something to sneak out? Try multiple keys to open it softly. Maybe it will open. Maybe not. But it's not the end of the world. Right?
Sorry, I actually have something to ask you, especially for Jin, because you have the experience from being I would say more on the commercial business side, and you also have experience being an actor. And just now, Max brought up a term which is commercial value.
Yeah.
So can you help elaborate more or explain more about the commercial value and how is this factor?
That's his major.
Oh, great. Yeah, educate us. Like, how is this factor, like, is this factor a huge thing that would affect how, let's say a company chooses, a certain actor, actress?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's quite apparent, like, nowadays, like, you don't even need to be a trained film actor to get booked as a lead in a movie. If you got, like, good amounts of fans on your social medias, for example, like, you can come from background as influencers or YouTubers. Like now the industry become more, talents come from multiple background. It's different from the old time. Like you must be from the trained acting background. So and why is that? That's because they have commercial value, because they are recognized by the public, maybe not from the film audience. So sometimes still fail in the film industry. They are famous in, I don't know, among the teenagers, but who never go to cinemas, and you book her or him as a lead in a like more serious cinema feature films, and doesn't work. But maybe it works not from acting background. I wouldn't say I'm happy or not happy about it, but it's just the factor because they have commercial value. And like imagine like if you have a low budget film, but you got the opportunity to book someone who is an established Hollywood actor. Do you not want it? You got a chance to book Leonardo for your low budget indie film. Would you say no, or just say, oh no, Leonardo is too old for my film? No, he bring like all the commercial value to your short film. What are you talking about? Like if you got a chance to book Tom Cruise for your indie art house movie, would you say, oh no, he looks too commercial, he got too much commercial value?
I feel like if we're in a debate about this, it comes down to like the cost efficiency as well, because with the value that we're talking about, right? Like let's say influencers who have 3 million followers, great, we can also cast this person, and probably a lot cheaper than casting Leonardo DiCaprio because he's an established person.
But for film actors, sometimes they are happy to contribute to the good script without get their full price payment. Like Tom Cruise, a lot of time he worked as a producer as well. I don't know, is it to save budget or something? But I mean, like the industry also needs him, so they can use his name, Tom Cruise, to promote the movie. And so it's a win-win situation for both in order to make this movie happen.
Is this true for both of you? Is
Yeah,
particular?
it is. I think it.
Yeah, like so for me, I'm not a high pay actor, but still, like if it's a good production, good director, good script, or like you know the one we're filming in Thailand, I see it's like opportunity. I never film in Thailand, so it's a good opportunity for me to open my possibility in Thai industry or the Southeast Asia industry. So I see it as an investment. So I have to have some days off from my university. I had to film here without doing my jobs in my uni. Yeah. So you ask about that, and so I was saying it's the same. We also invest our time. It's not everything about money. I see for the long-term goal or long-term possibility or experience, and that all pays off, I think.
I think that since it's still on this particular thing that you're talking about as well, about value, about the script, I think it's very interesting because Max did mention something in the beginning that he said he works in the arts because of like the things you want to produce, like the meaning behind it. But like you mentioned something similar to this, like you want to create something that matters or like a message. In terms of film, yeah, like for Jim, like what is it for you? Is that the same for you, or do you feel like
That's the value of the script.
what is the purpose for you that you're seeking out of creating the films that you do?
Yeah, so like I think like acting is my blessed to have without worrying too much about my financial income or something. But the most important thing is it's just such a bless to work with creative people in different types of productions. Like this one, we work for horror. I never worked for horror genre before. Yeah, never. And it's just something new for my life. Like even though I lived for many years, but still I never done. And the first time I did sci-fi, I say the feature film I did before. If I never had chance, if I don't do acting, maybe I never experienced that. I never experienced what the character experienced through that film script. And that film script is just so, it's not from the library, it's from your imaginary world, from the director or the script writers or the full production and cast's creativity. And because I'm an actor, so I got that chance to experience that. And that is that for me. So for example, this movie, if I play this character, sorry, I can't quite reveal too much about this production, but like this specific character's experience throughout this horror film is the experience that I never had in my life, in my real life. So I'm blessed to have the opportunity to experience what he experienced in the horror film. It's a fantasy. It's not real, but I feel real because I play this character, and the production create that world for me to experience. And in the end, what we created, we go to the public to communicate with the audience. Audience will give us feedback, maybe the negative feedback or the positive feedbacks. Doesn't matter. We generate the new conversation talking about horror, sci-fi, loves, hates, suffer, blah, blah, blah. And it's just amazing. I can communicate with, the people I don't know in this way. I just, so.
Because here at Migodi, we're also a huge supporter for creativity. So a lot of the things that we do, we try to always, use our creativity expression. Like Sony, our creative director here, he's been, finding ways to balance between, the business side of the thing and also the art side of the thing. And what Max brought up earlier, actually, personally, I resonate with that so much, which is the thing that Sony sent us now as well, that for you wanted to, use art to bring something meaningful, to create something meaningful for the audience to see, influence people. And this is also something that we worked really hard to achieve as well. So I'm wondering, from your perspective or your own experience, how do you see yourself achieving this goal? Because to me, this is a huge thing. It's not easy at all, especially if we're going to use the form of film right? Or even like your interest, you're also talented in music production.
Tiny thing. That's the way you do it, and you enjoy if you find this sparkling and the shining spot from very tiny thing. Just it'll helps you keep going. Yeah, it's like when we're talking here, I got inspired from you guys. Yeah, and you already just influenced me.
Oh my God. What did we say?
Yeah, in being yourself.
Literally, I'm trying to reflect while you're saying like,
Well,
thank you so much.
You just by being yourself. I enjoy myself. Just don't try not to be nervous. Try not to be depressed in a lifetime. Just for an actor, you sometimes it's hard for them to get a role in whatever the project is, but it's hard. But knowing this, you have to keep going what you're doing. Patience is very important. Patience, but make sure what you did and what are you doing during that period is right, is the correct thing for you to do. Then you just have to be patient. And for in our normal life, you just just trying to stay positive all the time.
Is there a way that, Max, you mentioned just now that try to do the things between things that are right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a particular example of yourself, like what you do and how do you keep yourself in a way that you can keep you aligned to your own purpose in life? Is there a way that you clock yourself? Because
just trying to you'll figure it out. You'll figure
really
it out.
hard.
It's okay to be not knowing where you are some way. It's just keep moving and just with your head up and just enjoy every people around you. And there is no debate between right and wrong. There is only debate between right and right. So just you have to show the respect, not to show, just you have to feel different people's, different life beings, different things, perspective. And if you felt that you can respect from the deep of your heart, then just go with the flow.
Yeah, I'm really loving like both Jim and Max, the philosophy that both of you are sharing. Because I myself is a I wouldn't consider myself as a big philosopher, but I'm very into the life of philosophy mindset and a lot of the things like go with the flow, be yourself. To me, it's very closely related to Taoism as well. Like for example, the philosophy of Wu Wei and yeah, and it definitely life, like how should we navigate our life so that we are less stressed, we're happier. It teaches a lot of the purpose that we want to. And oftentimes it is a very difficult thing for especially the new gens as well. And it sometimes in order for us to realize certain things, we have to go through certain things first, right? And I'm pretty sure like both of you went through a lot in order to become who you are today. So is there any tips or tricks for get back up when you're being pushed down to the lowest of the lowest? How did you get yourself, especially in the film industry?
Yeah, I just feel like, but so the question you asked, because I had my downtime, but not like depressed. But I would say like in order to be, because like Max said, like in this industry it's competitive. If you want to succeed, if you want to break through, if you want to stand out from the crowd, of course you put lots of effort. There's nothing come for granted. And in order to let the production, let the casting director see you, imagine how many efforts, how many time, how many works you have done to be able to do that. But then what if you fail? It must feel you are human. Even if you are super competent, you got reject from casting 1, casting 2, casting 3 to casting 30. You always get reject. How confident can you be? Like even if you were born as a confident rapper or confident,
like your friend?
Nah, kidding. He's super talented, so I know he's confident. But I'm just saying, like even maybe I believe like you also have your downtime, even though you're very talented. But imagine you got rejected for casting for 30 times. Are you that confident? Like for when you are going to your 31st auditions? Are you walking in with a super confident? I'm just better than other actors, blah blah blah.
So is there anything particularly that you do if that's one you think?
So for me personally, but I wouldn't say it's not good for the full-time actor, but because I also teach part-time in the university, so it's kind of my escape, my safe home, and I also direct commercials. So, but I think like you can commit as a full-time actor, but it doesn't mean you cannot adapt your situation in different things. Like if you don't get booked for acting, maybe you can think about take some time, write scripts, produce movie, try to, I don't know, work as a production fixer, for just get involved in film type production. But you don't have to always think, oh, why do I not get booked for acting? But what I mean is, I wouldn't say because he's a bad actor. He's not. He might be very talented and very good looking like me. I mean, like you can study, you can improve your, you can go to workshops, seminars. You can work as in a production. You can write script. There are multiple things. There are like you can work on your social media content. It all helps. It doesn't mean like, oh, because I'm a serious actor, I must commit 100% of my time in acting. If it's not acting, I don't do it. You don't have to do it this way. I mean, but that's for me, because you asked me, so I say me. But if you're happy to be like, okay, without acting, I don't do anything, it's your choice. But like, I just, from my experience, I feel like for my personal life, it's more healthy to do it this way. If I don't get acting book, I work for production. I work in a university. I feel in this way, I'm not depressed. At least I feel I live happily. So yeah, that's just for me.
I really resonate with what you just said just now, because that was also my own personal journeys of like learning about myself. I knew from a young age I wanted to I actually started off wanting to do acting because of like a particular middle school teacher was talking to me about it. And then like one thing led to another, when I went to UBC, I don't know why, like another professor came up to me who was like, do you want to explore the world of like backstage and all these things? I was like, yeah, sure. And then they accepted me there. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try that. And then I got to learn so many things. And during that whole process, my mind was really focused on just like theater and film's all I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. But then like fast forward this story to now, I'm working in a company that does events. This is not really like directly into film and theater, but I still get to do the things that makes me happy in a way, still exercise my creativity. We started a podcast. We get to meet amazing people like both of you. I get to still connect to the roots that I feel connected to. And these little things really power me. And it's related to what you said. To me, it was such a breakthrough moment to think about like, I don't have to just do one thing to make me happy. I can be more flexible to myself. And that's what I got from what you've said as well. Like to have some flexibility in my own life to choose things that can make me happy, but it doesn't have to be just that one thing. Like that one thing can be so much more than that one thing. It can adapt itself and be used in several other things. And that's slowly what I realize about the world as well, that really arts is in everything that we do. It's how you really take the actions to change it. So I always try to change. I have things I don't want to do in life. I have things in this company I don't want to do. And I asked them to do it for me. No, like jokes aside as well, I try to train myself to be like, how can I make this interesting for me in a way that would be something that I would enjoy? And that slowly also made me exercise the way to not lean towards like depression and sadness.
When you feel depressed, you have to have this. You have to have this self-awareness. Always look into yourself. If you have a problem, you face a problem with people, you have to always look into yourself, find the problem from your own self. That's the shortcut. That's the only shortcut to solve problems for me. And if you can keep trying, showing gratitude, being grateful, then for you will be very easily to get satisfied. Then just just treasure time. Just treasure time. We don't have that much time, so just treasure time. Then you don't have your lifetime is not for you to being depressed, being sad. You have to explore. But you know, when I got into this casting thing, if I walk out or through that door already, I already finished the casting. I won't think about it anymore. I don't care if I got the role or not, because that's already in the past. If I'm in the industry, I know what's my weakness. Okay, I have to fix my weakness. I have to fix that. I don't have the time for thinking about the past. I just move on. I don't care. Just but during that process, I have to try my best to show myself and not to show the director as what they want to see. I just want to show myself because that's the truth. That's what I am. That's what I'm proud of myself. It's not about to show them what they want to see, what they want to know. Show your gratitude.
I do agree with that because so for acting or for like for the film production, like there are multiple roles, multiple characters, and maybe you walk in, you see the script, you feel like, oh, it's not you, so you pretend you are that role to impress the director. I feel like it's a bit like, you know, when you are dating and you want to pretend you're someone else in order to impress your partner, because you are not that role. You just pretend. You're pretending. So still, like, back to what Max says, because you are actor because you are unique in this way. You are adaptable for different roles. That's because of your skill, but not because you're trying to pretend, oh, I am someone else. I'm pretending I'm this. And I'm just me. I'm a unique me, but I am adaptable to different characters. That's because I have the acting skills to do that. And because Max mentioned about that, everything, like, especially I think for actors, I think it's quite important, like, you know, everything kind of, you're adaptable, you can have a diversity limited to yourself, but you are also so much possibility because you are yourself. So you can adapt to so many different roles and productions.
Speaking of like adaptability and all these like ways that you need to be flexible as an actor as well, you're both, the way we also met, like you're all here in Thailand right now, and like for me, I filmed a production here. What are your biggest challenges as a film actor?
Wish to communicate, a difficult thing for me, because I think the most difficult thing on this planet is communication with people. That's the most right way that people can really understand you. You know, we have a saying in China that it's called 感同身受. It's like feeling as you are experienced. But there is no such a thing, because every different people have different feelings about every different thing. So how to communicate? We only have these tools that like your words and your language. But is that really what you feel the same through one word? English, for me to communicate with different people, this is harder for me to use Chinese. You know, using already difficult. You understand?
No, I totally understand, because it's so hard the opposite way. Like if I were to speak Chinese, I'm like, because I don't know, vocabulary for me, I'm very like limited in terms of Chinese vocabulary. So when I talk to people, I just use the same word. Like I don't like, if I'm sad, like, you know, like sadness has different levels. Like I'm depressed, like anxious, you know, all these things are all like the negative words. But in Chinese, I'll probably just be like 难过, press.
Yeah, I just want to, you know, because I think I'm quite impressed, like, because Max, he say this is his first international experience working on set. But he's just so open to, like, even the podcast, like this improvised, like we didn't do any rehearsal, we didn't see the question before we attended the show, but like he just so brave and so open-minded to have this kind of free conversation in the, you know, the language that he like I mean, this is also my second language, but like because I study in UK, maybe I had a slightly more opportunity to speak in the public before. But like Max I'm just so impressed. He actually did acting, like in Thai production. He did acting in English. Like I didn't see many Asian actors in UK or in Hollywood from the Chinese speaking world that can do English acting. Like if you were not born in English speaking world and you want to perform in English, it's not easy. I mean, even to perform in Chinese didn't say so difficult not to imagine if you perform in your second language. And anyway, I just want to mention that.
I love that honorable
I
mention.
can
I
fully
agree so
express
much.
myself. Why do I want to attend this podcast? Because he want to come here, just try the best to communicate. We generate this creative conversation, or like we just enjoy it because we are all creative people. We want to learn something from you, get inspired from different people. Okay, so get back to what you asked me. Did I experience any difficulties? For me, I would say like, because now I kind of stay in my comfort zone. I only do film acting. So for example, I know I'm not a trained actor. So if I go to perform on a stage, theater or musical, blah, 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 I really not confident. So because I know that and I kind of accept that, I just feel I'm okay. I'm okay to stay in the film industry. Down to my heart, I kind of feel all right. I don't feel like, because I feel, yeah.
Would you like to try theater though?
Like for me, trained actor, they do musical, for example, I would be like, wow, you can do this thing. Like, I mean, I know we work on set, we are equal on set, but when I see them perform in a theater, that's something I never done. And I was like, oh, wow, he can do that, like to interact with the crowd and have the vocal that without microphone can reach out to the audience. And that's a training I never done. I'm more used to, read the script and be the character, do some studies and then rehearsal a bit for the camera, interact with my co-actors for camera, but there's no crowd to look at me performing.
I mean, there's a crew to look at you.
Yeah, I'm used to it. I know what they do. I know what the sound guy do. I know what the prop guy do. So that is my comfort zone. So in my comfort zone, I wouldn't say it's very difficult for me. There are genres that I prefer more. Like, for example, I prefer more neutral acting. I don't like to act over the top. But maybe also possibly in acting, if I have more trained acting skill, maybe I can, because I wasn't trained. I didn't mean those are rubbish, because now and this is a new trend. Like we do have the new medias, like for example, short dramas, those kind of more. From time to time, they can act bigger. That's something I'm not used to it. And so also for YouTubers style movie, that's also some of the expression is also not the thing I experienced before. For example, if you are haunted by a ghost and you imagine like how to haunted by a ghost, I don't have that experience. In drama, I mostly do acting from my previous experience, or I do some research. But like haunted or being scared by the ghost, that is the experience I don't have in my real life. But if I am a trained actor like Max, maybe it's more easy to
find the right method.
Yeah, you have the method, you have that skill to just do it right straight away. So still, I mean, there's still many things I have to learn, but I wouldn't say it's still a difficulty, but it's not something that will stop me to carry on doing it.
Do you learn these methods through your colleagues as well on set? Like, do you ask them for like, hey, like you've trained, like how do you get into this particular circumstances, character or something like that? Do you personally do that, or is there a way to that yourself that you combat these sort of
some
situations?
Expressions in English, for example, and also even in Chinese, like sometimes the pronunciation I'm not quite sure, because I was born in Taiwan, so some of the pronunciation or accent is different, and sometimes if I see my core actors can get into that specific emotion very quickly, I would be curious, like, because sometimes it takes some time for me to get into the specific emotion. But I do see, some actors there, if they are trained, they can quickly get into that. I can get into that, but I need to digest a little bit before I get into the emotional status. So yeah, I do like, because I know, like in acting, there are still many things I need to learn. Vocal, like even if you see yourself as a talented actor, you can understand script, understand the genre, you can adapt to different roles. But still, they are, like in Chinese theater school, they have that kind of, like 声台形表 is like vocal dialogue, and 声台形
the shape bodies,
posture. 表 is performance. So there are many techniques. And if I didn't go to, I don't know that, I don't know acting requires that. I only know it from my experience, but that's not enough for acting. If you want to be like professional, like real professional, like you can get into like on set. You cannot always say, oh, I need 15 minutes to prepare myself, but everyone is watching you to see, okay, how many times will you want to prepare yourself?
Have you ever been in that situation where, like, where, like, you're like, I need some time, like this is emotional?
For me, yes. I don't know for Max. For me, yes. I would say like, yeah, I am not always make it, but sometimes it require me,
at the same. I'm also an audience at the same. I watch people. I watch my co-workers, my co-actors acting. He did a really good job, really awesome job. I'm watching it. But for his own perspective, I don't know what he would love to gain from it, what he would want to learn, and what perspective. I think he did a very amazing job. And what is he experiencing? So for me, for the audience.
So Sony was asking, like, was there some time when there's a requirement for the specific emotional status that require some time to get?
Yeah, a lot, man. I English expressions called iching. Iching is transfer. There's professional thing here. It's a smooth exchange, like exchange. Yeah, it's the accent too. Come on, join us next time. Yes, next episode. That's next episode. Okay, my method is just from our school. What I learned is just create your own story, but you have to experience that. Experience your own story. That's it's for me. It's hard for me to create my own story, but different people just for different. Maybe that's kind of hard. This a classmate that his difficulty on this thing is he got the difficulty on experience his story and my. But if you can create a story and you can experience the story in your mind, my difficult part is create a story. Then capture it and let it grow. And just you have to know the method to let that grow. It's not about the words that easy things. You have to understand all this. But maybe sometimes we can do another episode to do some workshop.
Yeah. It's making me think a lot because I'm just exploring what I really love about this discussion. And I feel like it brings so much value for the listeners is because on one hand, we have Jim who says that he doesn't have the training, but you're working in this industry. And then for you, Max, you came from this training and then you're also in the industry because there's a lot of people who stop themselves from doing things in life, like people who want to be actors, but they're like, oh, I don't have training, so I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to start. And what Jim brought up, you said earlier, is like, you could start your own thing. You can do like YouTube, you can do a short of your own and start something. Not necessarily that you need to train and go to school for it in order to be an actor.
I didn't graduate from acting school, but I mean, like, if you want to work as a professional film and TV actors, there are still the technique and skills you have to learn in different ways. Maybe not from drama school, but like, for example, me, I attended so many master classes. For example, YouTubers, vloggers, they are booked for the role in movie and TV. Even for them, they still need training before they go on set. The production must offer them some certain classes in order to deliver the lines properly, get into the character, your physical movement, your vocal, like still lots of techniques you have to learn and learn it quickly. But I would feel like, everyone, all the talents and casts, if they are required to work for film and TV, there are indeed some, specific skills that you have to learn in order to do your job properly. Doesn't matter what background you come from.
From what I got is like, don't let experience stop you from going in and trying out. So like, oh, you feel like you're not trained enough, then you stop yourself from doing certain things in your life. I feel like that's what I've got from hearing from both of you as well. But of course, once you go into something, you need to really take your time and to craft your own artistry, to really learn like what it is to make your role or your job a better one, right? Like, it's not like you can do whatever you want and then you can make a success out of it. But in order to go there, you need to be brave enough first to know that even if you don't have any training in the beginning, you can seek for those opportunities and go in to do those, right?
That's about what I mentioned before. Just about keep trying. If that really is what your goal, just keep trying and keep trying. Actors' perspective, I think you have to you don't push it. You just go with the flow and you live your own life and just don't push it. For actors, I think you have to explore your own world. Just don't be too agenda. And for director, I think that's their problem. They have their only just need to sting and to make things right. And if he wants 18 years old character and with a lot of life experience, then he must know how to just adjust that and to make things out from that. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, then. But I have one thing to share to the people that they want to get into this industry. Just don't try to make a living on this. Just at the beginning. If you really love this, you just keep trying. And in our generation this time, it's really easy to get information and write classes on the internet and wherever you can get it. Just really, if you really love it, just trying. But don't put too much thought in making a living out from this. Yeah.
And if I answer your question, I would say, well, firstly, we are all human. Doesn't matter you're 18, 30, 50. We're human. We can all experience sadness, happiness, frustration, or I don't know. Even if, like, for example, 18 years old never experienced divorce, but maybe he or she experienced frustration or depression. That's the mutual human feeling, like we can all resonate. But still, like, if you want to be a professional actor and you think like, oh, I need all those diverse background, I think still quite hard. Like even like I see myself, okay, I kind of travel quite a lot and I go to different places, but like there are still so many roles, life I never experienced. But does it mean I cannot resonate to that character, even if he is so different from me? So, for example, the character I just play in this movie, so he's kind of a coward. So I don't see myself as a coward in real life, and he is selfish person, is a little bit violent, and so different from me as a person. But doesn't mean I can even if I cannot sympathize that character, doesn't mean I have to deny a person like him existing in this world. And they have domestic violence. So, and there are different characters in movie. Like, okay, some people have. I don't resonate to that, but does that mean you just cannot make it reasonable? There's a reason for him to do that. It's from your research, from your study, from the people you see. They're from different classes in the society. Maybe they experience something so different from you, so they do that for, that makes sense for them. They don't do that because they see themselves evil. They don't see themselves evil. They have so for example, like in a war, if you go to the war zone, many crazy things can happen. You can do a lot of things, but you are still you. I just put you in different contexts, but then you change to another character. I put you in a war zone, and you are in that situation. You are still you, but I put you in different contexts. Everything makes sense. You are behaving in an extreme way, but everything makes sense. So I feel like a lot of the acting not necessarily come from acting school. There's another thing is also from your research, your study, the world you see, the people you know. If they can do that, you cannot. Doesn't mean that people doesn't exist. You don't have to agree with him, but like when you see that, you kind of, makes sense. That person in the jail, that makes sense. That person have do that domestic violence at home, makes sense for you. Doesn't mean you have to resonate to them, but I agree. I understand that. So I can understand the character, understand the script. I wouldn't say, oh, it doesn't make sense. It makes sense for many people.
Very insightful. I feel like the talk today is not just about getting into the life of actors, but also I get to really know on a deeper level of both of you, Jim and Max, that you guys are actually philosophers. Like a lot of the things that you share to me, it's not just, the industry insights that you're sharing, the tips and tricks, but it's also the positivity, the growth mindset, the openness that you're sharing with all of us really shows, who you are. And I'm so glad that we get to connect on, this episode.
This is probably the most friendly country I ever visited. Like, even on set or offset experience, like I found like the people, when they smile to you, like they smile like kids. And I don't have that experience much in Europe. They have the polite smile, yes. But here, when people smile to you, our cooking team in our production, they always care about, have they fed you well? Are you hungry or something? Like from the bottom of their heart, they care about how you feel. And that kind of careness, naive character and personality in them, and just so, like, even if we don't speak the same language, but I feel just, I'm so welcome here. They wouldn't say, oh, you're foreign. You come here to take our job.
Probably smiling at you because of money. They're like, oh, this man will give me money.
Yeah, but I don't feel it that way. I don't know if maybe I'm stupid, but I don't feel that way. It's like in some cases when I was in other countries, I do feel like, yeah, they smile to me because they want something from me. But like at least the production people, I mean, I can get that.
It's different.
And
it's different. The faces,
like, sounds incredibly friendly. And food is nice. Bangkok, so many to see. I have explored for like 10 days already. I still feel like, oh, I don't want to go. I want to stay longer just so I can see more of Bangkok and people from different background. I feel like this is is a bit like the new Shanghai or new Hong Kong. Like so many foreigners come here, like including our co-workers. Like we all kind of, lots of people from international background just have that desire to come here to explore. Sorry, I speak too much.
No, for me, the same. I love the people here. I love the most here. It's like kind of same. Yes, it's just how they express their self, and they shows a lot of gratitude.
Yeah,
from where I came from.
Yeah, and also have the international people like you too. When I come to Bangkok, I don't feel like so there are. Yeah, there is indeed language barrier if I actually want to communicate with the locals, but it's not hard to find the locals with the international backgrounds like you too. So like we can have this kind of more like insightful conversations here. So it's just an amazing city to explore.
Yeah, thank you for both of your time. We really appreciate that you take your precious time from your own personal lives to also come here to be a part of something that we really believe that can make a difference in the world for the listeners that listen to our podcast. So thank you both, Jim and Max.
Thank you, Sonny. Thank you, Shane.
And that's a wrap on today's episode of Buddy Time. I just love how our conversation was packed with both industry insights and life wisdom. A huge shout out to our amazing guest speakers for sharing their stories with us. We hope you enjoyed the chat as much as we did. Stay tuned for our upcoming episodes as we've got more creative discussions like this one lined up for you. And in the meantime, follow us on social media for all the updates. You can find us at MeGoodieTH on Instagram. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Okay, let's do this one. The next episode, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. The next episode. Awesome. Bye-bye.
Yeah.